Welcome to Daily Hope. This morning we are in 2 Chronicles 24, and I want to focus on Jehoiada, the chief priest. For like him, I too am old. I feel weary, and I'm in the most intense battle for my heart in recent memory. And where is your heart this morning? How is your heart? Are you feeling fractured and divided of heart? Are you faint of heart? Life is a battle. You were born into a world at war, and everything around us seems to be unraveling at the seams. And who is watching you? Your children, neighbors, friends? Everyone who decides to live for God is being watched by someone. So how will you respond to these times in which the Father has strategically placed you? When young Joash became king in our passage, he was 7 years old. Verse 2 says, he did what was right in the eyes of the Lord all the days of Jehoiada the priest. As long as Jehoiada was alive, Joash followed Jehoiada, who followed the Lord, and the temple was restored. There was peace, relative peace, but evil was lurking in the land because of the worship of false gods by some of the leaders. But the time came for Jehoiada to die. He was old and full of years, and he was honored by being buried with the kings in the city of David because of the good he had done for God and his temple. But he never saw the fruit of his legacy. Joash, the king, was seduced to forsake the Lord and his temple. He was lured to the dark side by his own officials who abandoned the temple and the God of their fathers. And God's righteous anger came upon Judah and Jerusalem. But judgment was delayed by the mercy of God in order to give time for the leaders and the people to return to Yahweh. God raised up messengers to call the king and his leaders back to him. And though they testified against them, they would not listen. All the years of Jehoiada's faithful ministry seemed to be for naught. But then the Spirit of God came upon Zechariah, Jehoiada's son. He took up the mantle of prophet-priest, and he stood up to their disobedience and said, "This is what God says, you will not prosper. Because you have forsaken the Lord has forsaken you." But the leaders, including Joash the king, killed Zechariah, who is a foreshadow of the prophet, high priest, king, Jesus. The point is, Zechariah watched his father faithfully love and serve the true God Yahweh all the years of his life. And he continued to follow his life long after his father's death. Joash, on the other hand, did not follow the example of his mentor. So on the surface, Jehoiada's mission was a failure. One disciple abandoned the Lord, and the other was murdered for his unpopular message of repentance. He never saw his son's boldness in confronting evil. So I come back to my original question to you. Where is your heart this morning? As I ask that of you, I'm asking myself the same question. I've seen very few green pastures and quiet streams in my walk with Jesus over 50 years, and especially in the last 2 years or so. And I find that when I take my eyes off Jesus and look at myself, fear and doubt overtake me, and my story gets very small because I become the main character and it's all about me. But when I keep my eyes on Jesus, I'm part of a bigger story where he's the main character. I follow his lead then to fight for the hearts of men. I've never known big, successful ministry in my life, but that's not the point. The point is, others are watching my life. And so I persevere through the pain, the disappointment, the failure, being misunderstood, and the fear of the unknown, because I know the one who holds my life. And someday my little story will be rightly told by the author himself. So don't give up. Never give up. Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, and faithful in prayer. For the testing of your faith is producing endurance in your life. The scriptures say, do not despise the small beginnings, for the eyes of the Lord rejoice to see the work begin. So let the work begin again this day, my friends. Whoever despises the small things shall one day rejoice, because the small shall no longer be small. So rejoice, and again I say, rejoice. David said in Psalm 50, verse 23, and I love this verse, he who sacrifices thank offerings honors me, and he prepares the way so that I may show him the salvation of God. So give thanks in all things today, my brothers and sisters, and persevere in hope, the living hope. May God richly bless your life today and may encourage your hearts this morning. And I'll see you on campus at one of the services this weekend. God bless you.